Hello, my dear friends, and welcome to another episode of The Word and the World, where we study, reflect on how the Word of God is made relevant to the world today. This is subong nga adlaw, ang aton nga episode is all about culture, not in the entire thing, but in terms of how we are often, as Filipinos, import cultural artifacts or ideas from other countries, especially of course for us Filipinos, the United States. Okay. You know, isa ka mga bagay-bagay ba lang nga mahilig kita amo na. Sa isa ka adlaw, I was watching, or not really watching, but reading my FB, my Facebook. And then I came across a comment in the comment section. No? Pero mahilig ako yung magtanaw sang comment section sa mga post, especially those posts that are controversials. No? So I would often look into the comments because from there I can really see how people are thinking. And I was surprised when I watch or rather read one FB post. Ang nabutan dito, nag-isa commentator nga Filipino of course. Hambal niya, it is racist. Racist ko no. It is racist. You know that word has become so controversial in the United States. Sabay gani damo gani subong no. Basta manghambalan ka na nga you are racist in the United States. Garot-garot gid actually sa Amerika. If you're going to look at the social media, the news for example, between Fox and CNN, you can really see the divide in the culture in the United States, no? Basically, kung tanawon mo, the Fox News is more on the conservative and the CNN are on the leftist, no? So amo na. So the Fox News news company, or I don't know how to call it, a company or network. No, they are on the right, and CNN, the cable news networks, on the left, and you can really see the difference in how they deliver the news. And most often, ng mga liberal, no, mga pa-woke, as they say, may dira sa CNN. Okay, now, so I was reading the FB post, and I came across for a Filipino who said nga, made a comment, it's racist. Alam mo, para ngayon ng word na racist na can be applied to everything that you don't like or you don't agree with, no? Basta sa Amerika, if you don't like somebody or you don't like someone or an idea, you immediately say it's racist, no? Parang it's become a kind of a blanket for everything you don't like. Especially from the left, no? If you're a leftist, no? Liberal, progressive, for example, mga conservatives, you don't like something that the conservatives said or done, you can always tell them they are racist. Yan, ganun. And so, I was reading the FB, as I said, the comment, and I saw there, it is racist daw. Ang comment ng isang Filipino. And I was amused. In fact, I was laughing. Kaya nga, it is the topic of the post is actually corruption in the Philippines. Pero, ang sabat isang anti, of course, no, kati, is a dialogue, or not really a dialogue, but exchanges of comments. So, ang isa is, kwan siya, agree siya sa post. Ang isa niya disagree. So, ang nag-disagree, hamba niya sa nag-agree, you're a racist. How can you be a racist when the question on hand, or the question, or the subject, or the issue that is being discussed was about corruption in the Philippines? And the one who is commenting is a Filipino commenting against another Filipino. So, where's the race question there? It happened in the Philippines, in the context of the Filipino. So, okay na siguro kung sa Amerika, kaya of course there's a dichotomy there between black and the whites. Pero, in the Philippines, ano pang rasang ari diriyaw? Siguro I was saying, maybe, as I said, because the word racist has become blanket, the blanket term for everything na lang. Siguro what the person really wanted to say is the other commentor is a bigot. Maybe pwede, it could be that, no? Galing, uh, ining commentator nga racist ang isa, accusing the other one as a racist. Pero may aguro mabatian ba sa social media? No? Sa kundi indira nga about if you are a woke person, then you don't like racism, so on and so forth. And so everybody else who doesn't seem to fit into your own agenda or to your own ideas are racist. Siguro he could have said nga, or she could have said nga, it's bigot, no? Bigotry. Pwede nga. Pero sila nga racist, my God, how can you accuse a person who is racist when the person is not talking about race in the first place? It's just talking about corruption. Okay. Anyway, now, this is an indicator. An indicator of how we Filipinos actually think in terms of cultural appropriation. No? Kita mahilig kita alin sa una eh. Mahilig kita. Kaya tungkol naman siguro because of our colonial past. And we always look up to our American colonizers and way back again to our the Spanish colonizers. No? So we look at them as somewhat better, superiors. And so everything that comes from the states are kind of better, no? Or maayo or nami. No? Some people would not admit it, but most of the time we do import ideas from the states that are actually alien to the Filipino context. Okay. Ang isa pag mga bagay nga nahambot ako, no? Nabilang the nicknames of the generations, the generational nicknames. Mahilig kita sa una, no? Mahilig kita magpamati parte sa baby boomers, no? Gen X, Gen Y, millennials, the Gen A's, and so on and so forth. Again, those generational nicknames were actually made for the Americans. Because the American sociologists and anthropologists, they're the ones who are using it for groupings, categorization of the population in the States. For example, nga ginatawag sila nga baby boomers, precisely because after the Second World War, there's a boom in the population. Kaya tungod nga ang mga soldado nga mga Amerikano went back to the States and they saw that there's a boom in the population. And so all those who are born after the war or approximately after the Second World War are called baby boomers precisely because they are products of that boom in the population. Okay. And so forth, no? Pero kita nga Pilipino, mahilig man kita mag-appropriate sina. That's why millennials kami. We are millennials. Pero di naging kuha ng idea na sa mga magazines, sa mga social media. And if you're going to look at it, these are actually imported ideas. Can you really say that the American millennial is the same as the Filipino millennial? Of course you cannot. Lain ang characteristics na iya. Nga how? Kaya precisely because we grew up in a different culture. The American culture is not the same as the Filipino culture. The way they were brought up, the way they were able to, like for example, in terms of their use of gadgets. Ito yung mga Gen Y siya, I think. Sila yung una na iya. Pero kita sa Philippines, hindi later na kita iya. Nagkaroon sa mga gadgets ngayon eh, compared to the Americans. And most of the characteristics that are being propagated to describe a certain generation is more of the American teenager or the American baby boomer or the American Gen X or American Gen Y or American millennial. It's not a Filipino. Magaling kita mahilig kita everything from the States, okay lang. No? Sometimes, pauso. Oo. Uso. Yan. Okay, so that's why important siguro nga we should be critical in our understanding of this. No? Kaya nga ahaw, ang mga bagay-bagay lang ginadala naton diri sa aton sa Pilipinas nga halin sa iban nga pungsod are actually impacting our culture. And it is changing our culture. I'll give you an example. Inang corporal punishments ng parents towards their children. Of course, there are abuses. May ara maging ako magbalbal sa isang bata nila daw. Do sapat panunduman nila. And those are people that must be punished. But not all parents are doing that. Di ba la? Not all parents who are doing corporal punishment against their children are doing evil or are evil parents. Amo na ba sa Salmo, no? Or sa Proverbs? I think it's in the Proverbs. Spare the rod and you spoil the child. So, anong ginimo sang, I think it was Pangilinan who introduced this law. I'm not sure anymore, ha? You correct me if I'm wrong. So, gibutahan na sa, sorry, it's not Pangilinan. It goes farther from Pangilinan. Ang Pangilinan gali ng you cannot imprison a minor, no, who are committing crimes or accessories to the crimes. Yan pala. You cannot, yan. Yung kapangilinan, it's a different thing. Pero yung anti-corporal punishment sa kabataan, no? So that's why we have Bantay Bata 163. It's an American ideal. No? Yan sa Amerikano, gidala din sa Pilipinas. Ang atong nga mga lawmakers, they also applied it to us. And so they passed a law similar to that. So ano natabo sa aton? Ano natabo sa Pilipino? Wala na. Nakabataan, masaway mo? Hindi na. Kasi for example, no, dabi sa simbahan, no, ginual ng mga bata. Why sa kasaway ang bata? Ang nanay, tatay, wala. Mag-spoil ng bata, mag-shagit, kagkuhan, why na? Why maginakusi, why ginahampak, babayaan na lang. Dinami na. Nga agad nag-amo na. Kay because of the law. Bantay Bata 163. No, may madaya lang bata karon sa 163 tapos agad. Oh, di ba la? So I'm not saying I'm condoning or promoting corporal punishment. No, I'm not. What I'm saying is spare the rod and you spoil the child. Sa yuron, if there's no discipline, iyawan ka. O tanawa, ano diferensya? Sa una nga sa Pilipino kasi sa Amerikano ang kultura. Ang Amerikano when they are 18 years old, you can send away your child, your children away from home. You have the legal rights to throw them out. Di ba la? Oh, dahil sa Pilipinas, wala. Agwantahon mo. Agwantahon mo asa maghalin ng bata mo. Sa bagay na ibang tigulang ng bata, ninaram gyapon sa ila. Di ka wala mong disiplina na. Agwanta ka Nan. Sa Amerika, pabayaan nilang bata nila kung anong gusto nila. Wala sila gahampak, wala sila nag-corporal punishment. Because after all is said and done, when this child is 18 years old, their obligation is done. Kita din ng Pilipino, hindi. Wala na sa kultura. That's why even that's why, amo nang kakatabo, subong. Tungod sang absence of corporal punishment, I think, kag wala makita sang alternative to discipline our children. Ano katabo sa kabataan ta? They're becoming spoiled brats. Many of our children are becoming spoiled brats. You see, it's because of an importation of a foreign idea that destroys our culture. And as I said in my previous blogs, in my previous, for example, podcast also, if you want to change culture, you import an idea but systematize that idea into structures and laws. Di mo ginahimo nila. Na may idea, Gusto ni butangan na nila sang struktura kag sistema. Di, amo na bantayan ta. Ikadamo sa mga bagay-bagay nga natudlo sa ato nga wala na siya pero foreign na siya, is Amerikano na. And next vlog, I will be talking about some examples of these things, more specific examples of how these things are affecting us, no? Ang mga bagay-bagay lang niya tudlo sa aton nga hindi nila kadapat. Pero tungod sa agenda sang iba nga tao, tungod sa ilang desire for power actually, Despite the protestation that is for the greater service, for greater good, etc. But actually, is a power play. No? At the bottom of it, bisan pa namba nila nga is for the common good, is for renewal, power play na tanan. No? Istoryahin niyo pa ko da. Istoryahin niyo pa kami. Istoryahin pa kita. Istoryanay pa tade. Mhm. Anyway, so thank you for spending some time. In my next blog, I will be talking about specific examples of how this culture, importation of cultural ideas are affecting our society. Thank you very much and God bless us all. Bye-bye. Until next time.